1-2 punch can this Jets backfield have now with you and Brees?
Yeah, I think I don't like that y'all like discredit the rest of the backs because like we're all good players. So like I think like the way to answer your question, like potentially it could be really good, right? But like the way that the rest of the backs work is like kind of like a disservice to them. For them, like they get up every day, and they have phones that they read what y'all say, and so it's like yeah, you got to tune out the noise, but we're human too. So like I think that we all have potential to like really do good stuff this year. Not to like shit on the parade or anything.
With that said, what about the other running backs? What have they shown you since you've been back there?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been like a lot of competing and like a lot of like great competition. And like we all like none of us have bad blood. Like there's situations like around the league where a guy may not help the rest of the guys. And I think like last year the standard was set with Tevin. Like Tevin came in and he's a vet, and he's probably expecting certain things, but like the way he took me in is like unbelievable. And I thank him so much. Like I'm so blessed. And the rest of the guys like P. Ron, who's been balling out, Ty, who obviously like people know he can do, and then you add the two new guys, and then we got Nick Baldwin, that fullback as well. Like we have like a lot of guys that can really like go get it. So I have a lot to say about all of it. I don't really have all the time in the world, but
when we talked to Brees, I think it was rookie minicamp. One of the first people that reached out to him was you.
Yeah, for sure.
If you think about it, when he's brought into the backfield, he's going to take some carries that could have potentially been for you. So how do you see a benefit of a running back by committee being helpful for someone like you and not taking the, he's going to steal carries for me kind of approach?
Yeah, I don't really, man, it's enough for all of us to eat, you know what I mean? And like you look at a lot of situations in like the history of the game where like a guy like Nacho Means, who's like is like a mentor to me, in some ways. And his first, I think his rookie year, like 360 carries. That's crazy. And especially like the way that like how fast guys play now, it's not like necessarily just like a carries game anymore. It's like a touches game. So like with the time and possession that we try to have, and the type of like the amount of plays that we run during the game, like we can all eat. And so like obviously Brees is a good player, and I have nothing but respect for him. And he works hard, and he asks questions, and he's not afraid to ask questions. He's not afraid to mess up right now. Like he understands that it's a marathon and not a sprint. And so like it's really cool to have him in the room, just because he has a very decorated college career, and he has like a great chance to be something special in the league. So I have no problem with it, for real.
Did you? So you obviously have the right attitude about it. Did the coaches tell you beforehand they might draft a running back? Did they call you after they drafted Brees to tell you anything? And
yeah, they called me. They called me after, and it was what it was. Like, what am I gonna do?
No.
So, I was like, all right, bet. Right.
I mean, it's better they call you than they don't, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they had they had a respect enough for me to like call me like like, hey Mike, like like this isn't whatever, and I do appreciate it. But at the end of the day, like they drafted him, and like I'm happy that we got him. Like it's not like I'm like, oh my god, like no, like I'm happy. Like he's a great player, and I'm trying to win. So
do you think your experience at Carolina, sharing the carries there, helps in this? Like that helps you your outlook on it?
Yeah, like I honestly like I got a story. So like when I was in high school, I was getting like 29, like 35 carries a game. And my freshman year in college, I was getting like 10, 15. And then we brought Vontae in the next year, and then Antonio Williams, who plays for New York right now, the Giants, he came in, transferred from Ohio State. And so like we had a 3-man like rotation and like in a air raid offense, like that kind of doesn't work. So we really had to learn how to like, hey, look, man, you in the game, you got to score a touchdown, or like you coming out. So like it definitely taught me how to like, all right, man, this is like kind of like my shot to go get it right now. And so the next year it kind of like turned in. So I think Antonio left that next year, and then it kind of like the next 2 years was just like me and Vontae. And so like it kind of went back to that where we was both getting 15 to 20 touches in the game, along with we got De'Ami Brown, top 3 round receiver outside, and Daz Newsome, another draft pick out there, and we just had like a lot of guys to get the ball, and like that showed me that was like first time in my life like that showed me that like we can all eat because Diame had 1,000, I had 1,000, Javante had 1,000, and the year before that, Das had 1,000, and so like and that's in 12 games. We played 17, so like when you really like look at it that way, then it's like what am I really tripping about? Like what is anybody really even tripping about? You know.
What part of your game have you seen the most growth now compared to where you were last year?
I think just my processing. I was gonna say that originally, but I had to make sure I wanted to say that. But I would say processing because I'm able to go out on the field and like I slow the game down myself. Like realizing that like running back, even though like they're underpaid, but we'll talk about that later. like it's a position that you can like kind of like control the game. Like it's like almost as much as the quarterback. Sometimes more because really think about it. When the game's on the line, when you're up, you're gonna do what? Run the ball. 4 minute. O-line. First down, stay in bounds. Like we block, we catch like the receivers, we block like the linemen, and then we run. Like we're running backs, so like we get the ball like on the handoffs and things like that. But we also can line up wide. And last year I got a clip against Jacksonville. I lined up at tight end, so stay woke. But like it's like a lot of process, and I'm able to like when we motion, I'm able to see what the defense is doing and what to do with the information. Last year I saw it, like I was smart enough to see it, but now I know what to do with the information, and I think that's been like the biggest thing. Obviously, like I still mess up. I'm not perfect, or else I would have had a go jacket already. But it's like I learn every day, and like I'm learning like just like as the day goes on. It's crazy. My eyes are wide open, so it's super cool.
What do you think about the potential of this offense? The additions you guys made was utilizing that for year 2.
Yeah, I think I think our potential is like through the roof, and like obviously they always say like, oh, like we're a young team, like, well, like I think the Rams were one of the youngest teams in the league last year too, even though they got like a lot of old heads, like the not the core of the team, but like a lot of the team is young, like so are the Bengals. It's like when you look at like the Super Bowl last year, and then it's a young man's league, and I know the old heads hate to hear that, but it is though. Like and like I learned that from an OG that I trained with down south, and so we have so much, and as long as like the better we can make the learning curve for like the guys who just came in, along with the second year guys and third year guys who like are continuing to learn, and even in year 10, like Vinny Curry's still learning. So like as long as we're all learning and we're making plays, like the athletic ability is there, and like for our offense, like we have so many people that we can just get the ball and they can make it happen. Like we have so many, it's like dang, like I don't know how it's gonna shake out, but you gotta work hard and it'll come. But our offense has like so much potential.
Do you think that everybody on offense shares your philosophy about there's enough for everybody to eat, or do you think some guys are going to have to learn that? Because there are, as you said, a lot of weapons now.
Yeah, I think winning cures all. You got to win, and then they'll see it. But to be honest, like I think that they do, and I think that like we've I like that song though. But yeah, I think like it comes to a point where the beggars can't be choosers, man. Like we won 4 games last season, so like we gotta do whatever it takes. And like whenever we get the ball in our hand, yeah, we're gonna do what we gotta do with it. But when the ball's not in our hand, like football has like a life of its own. So like if Elijah gets the ball in a speed sweep and I go block for him, and I did a good job blocking, the game's gonna reward me for that. Like I'm gonna get the ball soon because we're moving the ball down the field. The longer we stay on the field, the more people can get the ball. The more places that we can give, like we can do more stuff and expand on our playbook. But if we're on the field for 35 plays in a game, then like it doesn't matter about the potential that we have. It doesn't matter about what we can do if we're not on the field to do it.
You brought up Nick earlier. What do you like about running behind the fullback?
He's physical, dog. He's physical. Like he's just like. Y'all play football growing up? Anyway, y'all play football growing up? Like, like, those type of people, like, on your team, like, he doesn't care about his body. like, he does not care at all. Like he would take, like, he would, I'm worried about him. You know what I mean? Like, he would take his own head off. Like, just, I don't know about that song, though. No, but, yeah, like, no, Nick is, like, he's so smart. Nick was a quarterback in college. at San Diego State.
What happened?
That's good. It's not. No, you good. You good. But yeah, Nick played quarterback in college. Like went to San Diego State as a quarterback, and that's something that a lot of people don't know. Like his IQ's through the roof, and like he's like really a perfectionist. And sometimes you gotta tell him to chill out. Like we're not perfect, fam. Like it's okay. But like he was so physical. I remember like the first day. I can't tell that story, but heck no, I can't. But
He plays the music again.
yeah, that's like something Nick will listen to. But yeah, he's just a physical player, and he's really smart. And you know, he kind of like we're like Siamese twins when we're in the game. Like he knows what I'm thinking, but we don't have to say anything. And so it's super cool that he can adjust and make the game easier for other running backs.
What are your thoughts on playing with Bam Knight? You probably know a lot about him coming from the rival NC State program.
Yeah, I don't think he ever beat me when I was in college. But he's a really good player. I can't believe he didn't get drafted. I was just talking about it upstairs. But Bam's a really good player. And I wouldn't sleep on him if I was y'all, like at all. He's a great route runner. He can catch. And also he's like really good in the return game. And I think he's all ACC and specialist like in returning. So like it's just a lot he can do. He can catch. He's physical. He's about 210 right now. He's kind of a big kid, and he's got a great heart, and he's eager to learn. And you know I'm excited to see him play, for sure.
You mentioned that running backs are underpaid or whatever. So there's been a narrative reason for that because running back are quote unquote replaceable, and the whole offensive line makes the running back yada yada. So how do you feel about those narratives when it comes to that?
Yeah, I think I don't like that because I'm just gonna be honest. Like you're not replacing Alvin Kamara right now. You're not replacing McCaffrey right now. Not that the players behind him can't do it because like I'm friends with like a lot of them guys that are sitting behind those guys, but like the value that they add from the locker room to like, and then how many running backs in history have had 1,000 and 1,000, right? You got like McCaffrey, you got I think Marshall Faulk, Matt Forte. Like a couple, like maybe like a few. You're not finna just go get the next guy and expect him to do that right away. Like Dalvin Cook is not necessarily like the most replaceable guy in the world right now. And so like to say that you don't pay him as running backs, labeled running backs. You pay him as offensive weapons. Where you're gonna give with Devontae Adams 100 whatever he got, $1 million. But like, Aaron Jones is like really doing great too. And I think I'm not pocket watching, but like he got paid, but not even half of what Adams got paid. And they both have similar impacts on the game. Now I get there's a market for receiver. It goes up every time someone gets signed and just goes up and goes up and goes up. But like the same way that they look at Tyreek Hill, and the same way that they look at like Diggs, man, those guys are like really great receivers. Well, Derrick Henry is a staple on his team. Jonathan Taylor is a staple on his team. Like, them guys deserve those big deals too. So like, and then from there, like DeMarcus can rise and whatever. But I'm not a stocks guy.
Do you feel that way because you're a running back?
No, I feel that way. Yeah, but like, like a little bit. But like also, it's like then like seeing these guys who are like some of the greatest at their position in the modern day, like go underpaid severely. Like a guy like Chris Johnson, like a guy like LaDainian Tomlinson, like even in their day, they should have broke the market again. Jamal Charles, like. Those guys should have like broke the market. There's no reason that like the running back market should be at $64 million, like 16 a year, like 15 a year. When they do more than that, we block, run, and catch.